What is going on, 5'9 gamers? My name is Joe Wags, and today I will be your host for your favorite podcast, the Dokkan Battle Podcast. Our podcast is presented to you by 5'9 Gaming, your source for all things gaming, anime, and entertainment related. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things 5'9. Today's episode is episode 87, Resurrection S, and I will tell you what that S means in just a moment. But first, let me introduce our wonderful guest today. First up, we have Tech Ultimate's biggest fan, the man who cannot stop tweeting about Tech Ultimate Gohan, Minato. How you doing today?
I am doing perfectly wonderful today. It is me, Tech Ultimate Gohan, #1 stan right here. That's me. No one else competes. No one. I'm the one. That's it. That's all I want to say.
All right, Minato, I got a challenge for you. I think for 1 week, you should change your Twitter name to Tech Ultimate Gohan. Just do it for a week.
Maybe I will. I'll see. I'll think about it. I'll do something.
Or at least your profile pic or something. We need to get you to really be the stand here.
Yeah. Okay. You're challenging me. Maybe I'll do. I like my Twitter profile photo, but maybe temporarily we'll change it. We'll see.
It's either that or post 1,000 takes. Your pick.
No, never again. I'm not doing that again. No. Oh my god. That was the worst decision ever.
I bet.
Never do that. Y'all who did one take every 10 likes, you don't know my pain. No one does. Well, Ningen kind of does, but Ningen stopped early because he's not as good as me. I'll just be honest. But
well, and that leads us into our next guest, the man who also likes to post a few takes, the SBR King himself, the Mass Ningen. How you doing?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's good to be here again. Yeah, I was replying to that thread for like 6 hours, so I needed a break at one point. But, it was still fun to do, so it is what it is. But
I remember he DM'd me and he was like, "How did you do this?" I was like, "You just gotta keep going, buddy."
Yeah, it's so funny because we talk about it like every week on the podcast, and like we talk about it in all our own videos and stuff. But then when it comes to like write a list of specific opinions, it's like and I didn't mean for them all to be hot takes as well, so I was just trying to come up with various things because I know I've said some questionable things in the past, so I think there's some good takes in there. I'd defend all of them, so
for sure. I would never wish that pain upon myself, so I'm never going to make one of those tweets.
Yeah, fair.
All right, and last but not least, the title of our episode today is Resurrection S, for Resurrection Sunblade. Yes, the Resident Evil 4 master himself is here. Sunblade, how are you doing today? It's great to have you back.
Oh man, yeah, thanks. Thanks to all of you for inviting me back again. I'm very happy to be here. Hey man, JP is going to be on fire very soon, so I had to step in. What do we want me to do?
For sure.
So
For sure. We've definitely got some fire coming. So today, before we jump into the main podcast, we just wanted to talk about some plans for the podcast moving forward, some new things kind of happening. So Minato, do you kind of want to give us an update on kind of some changes to the podcast?
Okay, yeah, that is no problem whatsoever. So obviously, I believe this change was implemented the last one, but we have a new layout. I think that looks pretty cool. Made by none other than our homie Stray right here. Stray has been very, very pog. Great person, obviously. And then obviously, I mean, you guys could already tell from the beginning, we have face cams now. So moving forward for the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle podcast, we will be using face cams like this, so you guys can really see, when Ningen or Sunblade says a take maybe I don't agree with or Joe agrees with, you could see our face just twist in disgust and be like, and I think the expression is just more, you could really connect with us, right, and really see us. And I think as a viewer, personally, when I was viewing the podcast in the back then during the days before I was a part of 5'9", I thought that the idea of face cams like that would be cool, and we implemented it, so I'm very happy about it. As you could tell, I've just been moving around, right? Just kind of not trying to stay still and just be like, right. But yeah.
No, very cool. And this way you can see all of our disappointment when Minato brings up Tech Ultimate Gohan for the 100th time. We just be like, not again.
Or Tech God Goku.
Our Tech God Goku, yes.
I love Tech God Goku, man. Whew, my goat! Tech God Goku.
That's right. All right, well, let's move on to JP. So this is just like breaking news. Just what I think it dropped like last night or early this morning. But we found out that there is, let's start with the first part. We'll kind of break it up because I think this is all like pretty cool stuff to talk about. So the first part of the big news is that they are finally updating quest mode. And I believe they announced they're going to be exclusive items that can only be farmed in quest mode. So Sunblade, since you're returning, what is your take on this new quest mode? Do you have any hopes for it? What do you think they're going to do with quest mode?
Okay, so what's very important to me is that aside from the Dragonstones, we should get a good incentive to play through this mode. The items should be good and don't give us any more, what was it, energy drinks? Items that I never use. So
Right.
that would be good. Give us a good item for maybe Red Zone. Okay, that could be too much, but you know when I'm getting at this. Maybe the story could be explored further. Like, heck, I cannot even remember the original story from Dokkan, like seriously, but maybe it can get interesting. I think it ended with Turles. I come on, I don't even know. But
you don't remember? It's Piccolo. Come on, Turles was the Link level stage. Yeah, we fought Piccolo at the end of story mode. You don't remember?
That's why I remember Turles. Yeah, 23-8.
Fake, fake Dokkan fan, man. Look at the sky. Look at I don't know if he's above me, below me, or look at him. Come on, it's crazy.
All right, Minato. Well, what's your take on this new quest mode? Do you have any thoughts or ideas or hopes for what they're going to do with it?
Well, firstly, give us a new good Link leveling stage. That'd be pretty pog, right? To get a new one finally. Secondly, my prediction with that item, I think that especially we'll go into a little further about a theme that an upcoming celebration is, but I think a certain free-to-play LR Vegeta Blue could be getting an EZA, right, very soon. With the quest store mode being updated with the new item, I think at this point it's time for him to be able to get his EZA, and what better way to do it than through doing it through some more quest stages, because if you guys recall, that's how you were able to actually obtain and awaken him in the first place. So I think that'd be really cool if that's what they decided to do.
For sure. Ningen, anything to add on quest mode?
No, it'll just be interesting to see what they do. It's not. I don't think it's going to be something crazy with like tons of stages. I know a lot of people have wanted to see more quest stages because they just want to get more stones. And they haven't updated it for so long, so it is very interesting to see now that they are finally doing it, what it is going to look like. And yeah, I definitely agree about the STR for Geo Blue. Because if you remember, if you're one of the people that got him when he first came out, it took so long to get him and like for him to even awaken into an LR. It would be perfect for him to get an EZA and be like the best free-to-play unit in the game again. That'd be awesome. So very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. So I agree with Minato, where I really want them to design a Link leveling stage. I think that would be really good. Like a stage with just like 10 stop fights in a row or something. I think that would be fantastic. I do think they could use it as an opportunity to maybe add animations for cutscenes, but they might reserve that just for the special story mode, but they could possibly do that. And then I would even like to see something, if you guys remember, quest mode was where we farmed Android 13. So why not throw in a free-to-play unit? I mean, I would take a free-to-play unit as well as the EZA medals for Vegito. I think would be very, very cool. So definitely hype. I'm glad that they're bringing attention back to it, and I think there's a lot of possibility there. So very excited for that. Okay, so another announcement that they had was, I believe they said they are prepping for the movie campaign, and that Tanabata is actually going to be Future Saga. So I know a lot of people were predicting Future Saga for worldwide, but now they're flat out saying that Future Saga is Tanabata. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and does that mean that basically is the movie a lock for worldwide? So let's go ahead and start with Ningen on this one. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so I think it's very interesting. People have been expecting a Future Saga themed celebration to happen at some point this year. I was kind of hoping there would be worldwide, not regardless of superhero stuff, because obviously if that meant the superhero stuff could come earlier, that would be an added bonus. But I kind of wanted it to be worldwide because I liked the idea of there being a dual Dokkan Fest, because I know we don't know any of the details at this point, and I know there are plenty of other, I say plenty, but there's some other candidates that I think would be good. It seems very likely that the pick is going to be some sort of Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito. So I always thought the idea for worldwide would be cool if then they could have the matching card be a Goku Black and Zamasu that fuse. Keep Goku Black in base so he links up with the LR, because the LR will get an EZA during the celebration, I'm sure. But yeah, if it's just going to be the Tanabata, that means you get one LR. If we go by last year, you get the one new LR, you get a side banner unit, and then we'll get a part 2 LR. So maybe they could be a part 2 if it is going to be Vegito Blue. Like I said, I know there's a bunch of other candidates as well, so I won't go over all of them myself. But yeah, be very interested to see. And I hope Superhero is worldwide, because obviously that's more hype for global, because we get it at the same time. But I'm not sure how they're going to do that because of the dates that it comes out over here. Because I think the worldwide does start after it comes out, at least where I am. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they potentially could just do a short like lead-in campaign without like the hype units, and then lead into the hype units from there. I mean, the timing would hit pretty spot on for global for it to be really hype. So could be a possibility, right? Minato, let's jump to you next. What are your thoughts on Tanabata being Future Saga, and what do you think this means for the movie campaign?
I think that Tanabata being Future Saga is pretty cool. Again, like Negan said, we've really all been expecting Future Saga. I mean, you could tell they've been going through and giving us leaders for each saga. Ginyu's Planet Namek Saga, Raditz Saiyan Saga, Vegeta was Majin Buu Saga. So they just want to get as many of these characters under a 200% leader skill as quickly as possible. And obviously the easiest way to do that is giving us new saga leaders, right? So I expected Future Saga to be a thing very soon, especially with all these EZAs lining up. I do want to say that just because Tanabata is Future Saga, that doesn't mean they're gonna, like, I feel like it's more likely that they're gonna bring out Vegito Blue, sure, but I wouldn't say it's Vegito Blue confirmed, because I think there's a lot of options that are Tanabata, like Dokkan LR worthy, like Sort of Hope Trunks. You know, he's on the LR election, Sort of Hope Trunks, and we don't have him on the LR from yet. So it's possible, you know, we just got Golden Frieza from the LR election. Maybe we'll get Sort of Hope Trunks again, and we'll get another one.
Yeah.
One thought I had was like a blue Vegeta from when he fought Goku Black, and then an active skill where he does the father-son Gallic Gun. I think that moment is a Dokkan LR worthy.
Yeah,
so
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, there is a lot of different options I feel we do have for that specific saga. We'll wait and see, right? If it's Vegito, then I think that it's worldwide likely. But the thing is that I feel like if they already had worldwide planned to be something else, they're not just going to replace worldwide and bring Dragon Ball Superhero, because that's extremely difficult to do, because that celebration is like the biggest or second biggest celebration of the year.
Yeah, it lasts almost the entire month, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a huge celebration. I'm sure has a lot planned into it. So unless the superhero celebration was planned just from the get-go to be for worldwide celebration, I would say it's unlikely that it would be it, even though we're getting Future Saga right now. It's possible both Tanabata and worldwide celebration is still Future Saga. Maybe we get Vegito and Zamasu, and then right now we just get like Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku, or Goku Black, or New Rose, right? There's so many options because all of those characters are old, aged out at this point. We can get reduced for all of them, I feel like, right? Besides some of the EZAs that we can get, obviously, right? Those would be some reduce, but that's my personal take on how it could go through. But if it's Vegito, I'll be excited. All in for him.
For sure. I mean, you can't complain about Dokkan releasing too many fusions when it's been like literally years since we've got like a mainstream fusion card. So I think we're due for a Vegito for sure. I would agree with that. Sunblade, what is your take on the Tanabata and then the movie campaign?
Okay, so I'm being a little bit more critical here because I think the fact that superhero stuff will come later to Dokkan could kill off some of the hype. So maybe JP players are going to summon less, question mark. I don't know, but maybe the units are so busted that nobody cares anymore. But I think it would have been the better move to release it right now, but maybe they weren't allowed to do that. I don't know. Well, as for me, I can wait for superhero stuff, yes. I'm very hyped about Future Saga Celebration, since Goku Black is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And I'm still a little bit mad that our EZA Goku Black, the GP one, wasn't adjusted to the global passive.
That's so unfair.
Global
I mean,
supremacy
he sucks
Goku
now,
Black.
but he's bad regardless. But come on, let's be real. We should just gone anyways.
T+3 part is really, really powerful still. And
yes.
Well, it doesn't matter. We will circle back to this anyway when we talk about the STR Goku Black. But I hope, even though it's unlikely, since Vegito is a big seller, we don't have to lie to ourselves. Vegito is going to sell well, and everybody's summoning for him, even though everybody's complaining about how many Vegitos we got. But when was the last time we got a base Vegeta Blue? Was it Tech
Oh,
Vegeta Blue, for
it was a tech one, yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah.
So
we haven't had
because
Vegeta Blue in a while, right?
The
Yeah,
year
but-
5 was transforming, yeah. So yeah, it's been a while.
So
Yeah,
maybe we can get a standalone one. I don't know. I'll go in all in for sure. But I want a new base Goku Black, 100%. But yeah, I'm hyped. Of course, this celebration was a given since Tech, Goku Black, and Zamasu have to EZA sometime, and
Yep.
they won't EZA during a Universe 6 celebration, for example. So it was just a matter of time until we got a celebration like this, and it's Tanabata. I'm totally fine with it. Yep.
Yeah, because they're the last LR from their like leader skill meta that don't have an EZA, aren't they? So
Right.
if
Yeah,
it is
it's-
future themed, there's literally no way they don't get it in this celebration.
You could
Right.
tell they were waiting for like a bigger Future Saga celebration for them because they skipped over them and they did like 2-3 extra EZAs that came out after them, right? It's so obvious, but people
Yep.
kept denying it, right? Even if it's not worldwide, just Tanabata, it's so obvious there's going to be a bigger Future Saga celebration.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
At some point, right? It's bound to happen. It's Vegeta Blue, Zamasu, Goku Black. Oh, well, Frieza Zamasu is way more probably the normal one, right? But those are really popular characters, I feel like, in the fan base. People did enjoy the arc until the last episode, but
Yeah.
we don't talk about
Oh,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the last episode. Let's pretend it doesn't happen, right? No.
Now, I want to go back to physical Goku Black. Sunblade, you didn't know this, but they actually did fix him on JP. It's called Fruit of the Tree of Might. You just bring that with, you got your 3 key. You're good to go. It's already fixed.
Hey man, do you want to go to
Damn.
meeting 3 after this?
I don't know, man. I want to earn my way into meeting 4. Can we make a meeting 4? I want to be that egregious.
I could make an exception here, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, my take on it is this. I think I know we bring up the movie being delayed as like an excuse for a lot of things, but I truly believe that the movie was a dual Dokkan Fest for Golden Week, and that was the original plan. And so I think they moved it to worldwide because they want to keep the dual Dokkan Fest. Future Saga maybe was originally the plan, and maybe they're going to shift it into Tanabata, which, if that's the case, I think Tanabata could be a dual Dokkan Fest for the first time. You never know with Dokkan. They could do anything for the first time.
It's true.
Something else they could do. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say if Tanabata is a dual Dokkan Fest, and you can clearly tell it was worldwide celebration intended, then we know what exactly is for worldwide celebration. It's gonna be superhero. If that's the case, right? But
Yes.
Yeah.
it'd be so weird to just change it like that. It's just, but I guess it's good to do something different, right? For once in the first like 5 years or something, right? We've had the same basic schedule throughout the year. It'd be nice to see some change up, I guess, for sure.
Right. And my thought is this, and I think it'd be really hype, but my pick for worldwide has always been Broly movie with Broly and Gogeta, full power Broly, full power Gogeta. And I know that the original superhero movie maybe wasn't planned to be big enough for that worldwide. But what if they throw that in and they just make it a movie celebration? Because they've also been doing a little bit of Wicked Bloodline buffing, and they could do AGL Metal Cooler EZA and just make it a movie theme. And this just make it a huge celebration and just add that in to make it even more hype. To me, that would be really cool if they did that, but who knows, right? Definitely could be anything. Let's move into just some general predictions for the Tanabata celebration. I know a couple of you brought up some like EZA ideas or anything like that, but I want to give each person a chance to make maybe 1 or 2 predictions. It could be an EZA, it could be who you think the summonable units are going to be. Make as many predictions as you want. So, Sunblade, do you have any predictions for something that you think will be a part of this Future Saga, in your opinion?
Okay, so I think LR Goku Black and Zamasu's EZA, Extreme Z Awakening, is going to be very obvious. We're going to get that for sure. I will be mad if we don't. The Int Goku Black has to EZA also. I think he's part of that line that still has to EZA. Yeah, main summonable units. Well, I talked about that before, but yeah, I'll go with the 2 EZAs.
Okay, sounds good. Minato, what are some predictions you would want to lay down here?
I would say in Goku Black, although he sucks, it may be a little too early for him just to bounce off of that. I think if anything, Esther Rose, Tyke Vegeta Blue, those could be EZAs, right?
Yep.
Since it's Tanabata, I don't think they would do both. So my real choices that I would love to see, Esther Rose Goku Black and then Attack LR Goku Black, right? Just like a bunch of Zamasu
Yeah,
buffs.
those
Like
two together.
that would be awesome. Like what if Tanabata is just full Goku Black? Like we see Dokkan Fest LR transforming Goku Black to Rose. Then we see Part 2 LR fusion Zamasu. Then those two Goku Black and Zamasu units get EZAs. That would be
Dude, that'd be
crazy. I would love that.
Man,
like this full extreme class. I
the Geo
would
fans
down.
would riot, but that would be so good. That would actually be
man.
an awesome celebration. But
That would
Then
be
they could-
so cool.
Then they could throw in the STR Vegito Blue EZA to appease those people. But yeah, the idea of a full
Yeah.
extreme celebration would be super hype.
That would be so exciting because like all the Goku Black and Zamasu are just dead right now, and it's really upsetting, right? Because we had like the STR Zamasu EZA, he could have been solid when he came out, but there was no other good Goku Black and Zamasus, right? The STR Goku
Yeah.
Black World Tournament unit, he's kind of underwhelming because he doesn't really have a team. He's not really even that constructed good, right? But if we
Yeah.
gave him like some team like that, like a 200% Goku Black and Zamasu team, I think that team could be really good, given the right circumstances. You know, we got all the Goku Black and Zamasus we need.
Yep. Ningen, what are your predictions?
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say the same thing about the Ink Goku Black order because he does need one to be used, but I think he did come out after STR Rose and Tech Geo Blue, right?
Yeah, like it was like a whole year
but,
after, right?
I mean, the thing is, when I did my own coverage of this, like I looked up last year's Tanabata to compare, and obviously, although we had the main LR with the side banner unit, but that celebration had like 6 EZAs, so yeah, it's always possible we could get a whole bunch. Maybe they count an LR one as 2, but that's still another 4, so could be pretty
in the back of my
interesting.
head, I remember 10 units for the Tanabata celebration. I remember 10.
Yeah, it could be more. This is just what I was looking at on the
this-
wiki. And some of them were just
it's
the
a
units,
lot.
you know, like the general banner pool ones that you awaken through the Extreme Z area for the elimination thing. Or they're like, you know, they weren't great ones, but there were quite a lot. So there is the potential that, yeah, quite a few units could EZA. And then, yeah, people have said about the main banner unit. I do think it'll be Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta that fuse in that same sort of blueprint as the STR Vegeta and Tech Gogeta. Well, and I guess physical Super Saiyan 4s as well. But I would really like the Part 2 LR to be, like I said, a Goku Black and Zamasu who fuse, make them the Fusion Zamasu with all the like Judgment Lightning and all that stuff. Keep the half purple goo nonsense out of there. I despise that form. But yeah, like perfect Merge Zamasu would be an awesome Part 2 LR. So
What if it's just corrupted Zamasu?
it's gonna be now that I've said that, isn't it?
Yeah, you cursed it. It's gonna be Sword of Hope Trunks then the corrupted Zamasu, and you get none of what you want.
As long as we get them EZAs. I have long ago when he was new. I mean, I didn't really know about every other TUR in the game as much as I do now because I don't think I even made content then. But when STR Rose was like new and in meta, I always thought he was like the best TUR in the game just because of how much he does. Like he supports the team. He used to hit really hard. He has no defense in his passive, but back then defense wasn't as important as it is now. So compared to the other units around him, his defense was okay. So he did
also
a little bit of
supported
everything.
defense.
So his EZA is going to be insane. They really have to fumble to make his EZA bad. So
It's like-
let's hope they don't.
I think it was like at the time of release, he was probably like the most well-designed unit, right?
Yeah.
Because he just did everything. He supported his super attack effects, still supported. He did decent numbers. His link set was great. He had a great leader skill, like all around. You just look at it.
Yep,
He's
it's
just
so good.
really good, right? It is really good. So I also hope he's good. Great. I personally thought he was better than Vegeta Blue when he came out as
Yes.
well. But you know, people are like damage, right? I think one funny thing about Tech Vegeta Blue is that he did do so much damage that technically his APT was higher at 55% than Rainbow, from what I believe, because at
he killed
Rainbow
them too
he would just kill them too quickly, but like at 55% you would get like the additional super attack, so you would technically do more damage, right? It was funny. I remember reading a post like that.
That is pretty funny. So I've got a couple of hype predictions here. So one prediction is I think as a banner unit, they're going to EZA the Int Zamasu, and he's going to be the best banner unit EZA because he has unconditional damage reduction.
Yeah, he is good.
I think
Or was
he's got
good,
super
sorry.
high potential. They just got to throw a little bit of defense on that guy, up him to like 50% unconditional damage reduction. I think he could be really fire. And then my other prediction, STR Goku Black's going to EZA and the global version's going to be better. That's it.
Yes.
They're going to give him key +6. JP will just have key +3. And then, no, not really. I'm memeing, but I do think Int Zamasu really intrigues me. And they messed up S tier Zamasu so bad. They need to rectify it, make Int Zamasu like a god, and then I'll forgive them for it. So, all right. Next up, we have got Golden Frieza LR coming. We'll just do a little shout out. We got a 5.9 video coming up. We did another fan made card on Golden Frieza. Do you guys know when that video is dropping, Minato? Any idea?
It should be up before the podcast, I think.
Okay.
Well, at the time that we're recording this, it should be up on the 18th, right?
Okay.
U.S. time. So we expect that it's probably before this podcast. So if you haven't already seen it, then go see it, I guess. Or if it's not up, go see it when it's up. I don't know. Right.
All right. So if you're watching this podcast, look at 5.9 Gaming. We should hopefully have the fan made card up there. If you submitted an entry, hopefully yours got picked and you could see us talk about your example. So what we're going to talk about is, do we think this Golden Frieza could be the best yellow coin LR, and some predictions for the kit. So let's start with Ningen on this one. What do you think is coming for Golden Frieza here?
The one thing I really hope is that they just make him a really, really good defensive unit, because the Tech Golden Frieza and AGL Golden Frieza, they held that role for a very long time. You can still get away with using them in the hardest content now, especially the AGL one. The Tech one, not so much, because it doesn't have as much damage reduction. But the HP restriction can be an absolute killer, especially now when you consider, even though teams have such a huge amount of HP, how much some of the bosses actually hit you for. So having a tank that can only tank when you're at like half health or more is not the best. So I really want him to be just like an LR version of the AGL and the Tech one, but without any kind of HP restriction, because Dokkan has been releasing a lot of very powerful slot 2 units recently. And Wicked Bloodline, I feel like, is definitely one of those teams that needs, and some of the other categories he's on as well, a really, really good slot 1 like tank, movie bosses included. So that's my main hope, is that he is a super good tank. And then I did make a tweet about it the other day. I think it'd be kind of funny. They could give him a revival, where you have the animation would obviously be him when he's about to be killed by Vegeta, blows up the planet, and then Whis rewinds time, and so then that's why you're alive again, because time's been rewound. So I think that fits in quite nicely, while obviously being able to use the quality of animation now would be like straight from the movie. Just you wouldn't see Goku and all the others there. But yeah, I think that'd be kind of an interesting mechanic for him to have, especially as a tank, because you want to put him in front of a load of attacks. So his restriction could be based around taking hits or something like that, similar to Blue Evolution Vegeta. But yeah, I just want him to be a really good tank, is my number one hope.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I thought about that myself. I think doing that revival mechanic with that, or I think they could just do it as an active skill when you're either low on health or have taken a lot of hits. And I could see that being like an AoE like stun attack for like Super Battle Road. I think could be really, really cool. Sunblade, what are your thoughts on the Golden Frieza?
Okay, so the first question you asked was, could he be the best yellow coin in the game?
Yes.
You could ask that about every unit, and I would say yes, but let me say this. Look at Reddit. He's definitely not the best red coin Dokkan Fest in the game. So, yeah, I would certainly hope so, that he's very good. And Akatsuki has to be aware about the pacing right now. Like, they literally just announced the future saga for Tanabata. They know that we are expecting the superhero stuff. And yeah, I saw Minato tweeting about that, and he's absolutely right. You have no incentive to summon on the banner. Yeah. So the wisest thing would be to make his kit absolutely crazy, so we will summon for him. So I think they know the player base, and they know how we value damage reduction, defense in general. And they usually take stuff from earlier kits, like Tech Golden Frieza, AGL Golden Frieza, so I expect him to be very good defensively. Maybe, but that could be too much. They could give him a 200% leader skill. I don't know. Wicked Bloodline needs it. Yeah, should be a very good defensive unit. Yeah, I'm hoping for that. A good slot 1 unit. Ningen was right there. Wicked Bloodline needs it.
Yep, for sure. Minato, what are your thoughts on the LR Frieza?
I will say that I think that, like Sunblade said, he's probably going to be really good, because like personally, I'm not really excited for him. Even if he does end up being broken, I'm still probably not gonna summon. Really, like maybe a multi or two, right? But it's just like Tanabata upcoming, superhero upcoming. It's like Golden Frieza. Well, we've been waiting for quite some time. I could wait longer. Those are the units I'm way more excited about. So, they're probably gonna make him busted. Like, maybe they can give him, like you said, damage reduction, but he also stacks defense. Like, what if he stacks defense, but then has like 60% damage reduction and like 200% attack and defense set of turn, right? Like, these can get pretty crazy if they design them well, like those other Golden Friezas. Because those other Golden Friezas do have pretty good designs. Even the AGL one right now, still very good because of his, 90% damage reduction?
Yeah.
That's insane. I would say keep in mind that there probably is going to be another EZA coming though, because usually we have 2 EZAs in June, which, for example, last year I believe we got who was the EZA for June? I know we got the Int LR Gohan, but who came out with Kid Gohan? There's another EZA that I just can't remember at the top of my head. But we usually get 2 EZAs for June, so it's been a trend for the past few years. So I would say, honestly, AGL Metacooler, I think could really EZA, and he could be the new Wicked Bloodline leader because, unfortunately, I wouldn't hold any hope for this guy to be a 200% leader skill unit because they just don't like Yellow Queen LR leader skills, which is really disappointing. I mean, if he ended up being a 200% leader skill somehow, I'd be down, but I think that at the very least, if the EZA AGL Metacooler and give him like 4 key, because they probably won't change the 170%, and make him really good, he could be a strong leader for the team.
Yeah, for sure. My thought on this Golden Frieza is very similar to what you guys are saying. I think, to me, damage reduction is a must. He's got to take that from the AGL and the Tech one for sure. In terms of being the best Yellow Coin LR, unless he gets a 200% leader skill or is like absolutely dummy busted, like Rakumen Goldo defensively busted and like can just kill the red zone, I don't think he's going to contend. And I don't think people are going to be as tempted to summon. For some reason with these LRs, they just don't like to step on the toes of the Dokkan Fest with the leader skill. They seem to want the Dokkan Fest to have the better leader skill than the Yellow Coin LRs. I think the trend right now is Key 4 150 the stats, which to me is just not good enough. I think a step forward they could take is they could do Key 4 150 and then 30% to another stat, make him a Key 4 180. Then you've got me intrigued. If you're Key 4 180, I think you could contend then and say that in some cases that might be better than a Key 3 200, especially if your team has a lot of LRs on it. So they've got to do something really intriguing or make him really, really busted. Because I know if I was on JP right now, I wouldn't be very tempted to go in on it. But I do think the AGL Metal Cooler EZA is a good possibility. He could possibly be a Key 3 180 for Wicked Bloodline, which I think could work. We'll have to wait and see on that, right? Our next topic, we've got Dragon Ball Super Hero again. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but the movie's been out for a week. So does anybody just have thoughts that they want to talk about the movie or where it's going to be with Dokkan at all? Minato, I'll start with you. What are you thinking about Dragon Ball Super Hero just in general?
Well, I mean, Dokkan Podcast, but I will say I enjoyed the movie. I think the movie looks pretty cool. Regarding when it's going to come to Dokkan, it's very hard to tell. I would say, if they're gonna drop anything in Dokkan, like, say they drop something with like Golden Frieza or something, right? Like maybe they drop the Awakening for the free-to-play going we have in game. I don't think we would see anything that isn't in any trailers or any more so characters that weren't shown in any trailers, right? Just because they want to wait until Toei probably officially reveals it. Maybe there's some like bar or hold keeping them from releasing some of these units, right? Which is why they haven't gone straight up and released some of them in both Dokkan and Legends, you could tell, right? So they're obviously waiting until whatever can happen for them to release them does happen. But keep in mind, Dragon Ball Heroes later this month, I believe, or early July, is going to release some of those units that weren't shown in the trailer. Some of those things that weren't shown in the trailers, moves and stuff like that. So keep that in mind that we could be seeing stuff like that in the middle of July. So maybe it'll be part 2 of Tanabata, right? Who knows? You can't really guess, unfortunately. even though we do have the like worldwide release for the movie, basically around like the 19th of August, right before worldwide celebration, you can't tell for sure when they might drop these things, if it's going to be same time, separate time. It's difficult.
Right. And all we've got right now is that free-to-play Gohan, right? And no Awakenings or anything yet. That's all we've gotten so far.
Yep. That is the only thing we have.
I am honestly surprised they didn't at least drop a Gamma 1 and 2. Because, Legends did already. I don't know why Dokkan couldn't at least drop that, but we'll see. We'll go to Ningen next. So Ningen, just your thoughts on Dragon Ball Superhero when it's coming to Dokkan. If you want to share a thought about the movie, go ahead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I like we said before, I could kind of see it being worldwide download celebration now, because of how that ties up with the date of them releasing it over here. That would be hype. I would be down for that. Very much looking forward to seeing what some of the stuff looks like in game, because obviously the Gohan that they've released so far, even though he obviously has a very basic super attacks, he's just an SSR. It still looks very cool because it has some of the style like elements from the movie. So obviously I'm looking forward to seeing some of the much more crazy moments and the stuff from nearer the end. And those who know. I want to see those in the game. So hopefully it's going to be worldwide, considering if it's any later than that, I don't necessarily agree that people would lose some of the hype, especially once it then gets that bump from being released in the West. But yeah, any later than that, I think it starts to be seeming like it's too late. So I really am hoping it's going to be for the worldwide download celebration.
For sure. Sunblade, how about you? Thoughts on the movie and when you think it's coming to Dokkan?
So Toei didn't do much marketing for the movie couple weeks before the release, but of course when we drew closer to its release, they pumped out trailers every day. But I enjoyed the movie. I really try to avoid spoilers here right now. So,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm with Ningen on this one. I want to see the stuff which we saw at the end of the movie. And I want to keep it at that before I get flamed in the comment section.
No, you're good.
But you're ruining my experience.
What I want to say is that I wasn't really hyped before it, since they didn't do much marketing. But when I saw it, I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" So I'm looking forward to that stuff. I hope we get it sooner rather than later. Worldwide download celebration seems likely, but I'm worried about that statement from Akatsuki where they said, "Yeah, we are working on it." And
yeah, for sure.
When version
Sunblade, I might have lost you there.
right before.
There you go. Sorry, you had cut out for us for a split second, so maybe restate that. What you were just saying there.
Okay, so I cut off. Okay. Where do I have to? What was the last thing you got from me? Sorry.
Just start with like you're excited for the movie to come out for worldwide.
Yeah.
Just to kind of go for there.
So I think that it's likely that the movie stuff is coming out for worldwide download celebration, but I'm a little bit worried about Akatsuki's statement where they said, "Yeah, we are working on that right now, and sometimes it can take a long time."
Yeah.
So I really hope that it comes out in August. September.
Yeah.
I would say in the Goresh translation that he did for the video, he said that they said they would be coming out soon. So I would say sooner rather than later. I don't think they would wait any longer past August for worldwide celebration. We're gonna get it, even if it's like the Dokkan Fest before worldwide celebration or something. Like we're gonna get superhero stuff soon. I feel like they're not gonna wait that long. No way.
Yeah, in my opinion, like I like the movie or whatever. I won't give any spoilers, but I will say the animations were better than I thought. But at the same time, I'm still not sold on the 3D. I still think I prefer the 2D. I prefer the Broly movie style. So what I'm really excited about is that Dokkan gets the animations and they animate it in traditional 2D Dokkan style. I think that's going to be really fire. That's actually what I'm looking for the most, because I want to see stuff from Superhero but animated in 2D.
Yeah.
I hope Dokkan doesn't just do 3D models and put animations in, which I suppose they could do. But I hope they do it traditional Dokkan style. I think it would be really fire. That's what I'm hoping for there. All right. Well, JP, you've got the hype right now because you're in a world tournament. We've got a new Shen and Trunks card, and we've got the Goku Black Dokkan Awakening. boy, that Goku Black Dokkan Awakening makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? So, Sunblade, we'll start with you. How's the World Tournament treating you? Any thoughts on the new units?
Okay, so a lot of people know that I despise the World Tournament, and I will always say that Chain Battle is better. Ningen, yeah, shut up. I don't care what you have to say about that. But yeah, Goku Black, the artwork is super great. The kid is, I don't know what to say about that yet. Offensively, he doesn't do anything, I would say. Defensively, he can be fine if he doesn't get blasted by a super attack on the first attack. He has to build up defense by getting hit, which is kind of I wish they would follow the Super 17's design here and give him damage reduction as well, so he can't get killed that easily. Yeah, defensively again he's fine, and since we didn't get the Key +3 passive on physical Goku Black, I think this unit could be a wildcard here and there. About the Trunks, I'm sorry, I actually don't know what he does, but because every time Dokkan releases a new World Tournament unit, they are bad usually. So I have no incentive to jump in, and I don't even read the kit. So maybe someone else knows what he does, and yeah, we can come to a verdict together.
Yeah, well, we'll jump to Minato on that one. So Minato, as a JP player, your thoughts on the World Tournament and these units?
Well, luckily I know what they all do because I had to translate them all. Like Sunblade expected, but it's true. The Trunks is kind of mid. Let's be real. I think he's expected to be used with the Goten, but he also has the same name as like the AGL like Trunks, the Dokkan Fest. It's really weird. They probably should have a different name, but they're both Trunks Teen. Yeah. So the AGL Trunks should be Future Trunks Teen or something, but they have the same name, which is kind of weird. But whatever, I guess. You're not gonna use that World Tournament one anyways. I think the Shen's pretty solid. His stats just as a free-to-play unit though, his stats are just suffering, unfortunately. And the last unit, Goku Black, I think he's a little underwhelming. Again, he has what I dub the Blue Kaioken effect, where he has to take like 6 hits, but then in those 6 hits, he takes too much damage. He can't take the hits in the first place to build up his passive. So in turn, you just end up taking like 50k plus normals like 5 times in a row, and you just die, right? It's like, I hate that type of design where a unit wants to get hit to build up their defense. It's just so bad. It's a bad design. It's straight up. I hate it. You know, certain events it could work, but...
Yeah, I also think it's anti-synergy because as a support unit, you kind of want to float them, and you're not going to take a lot of hits if you're floating, right? Yeah, Ningen, I'll pass it to you. Thoughts? Continue those thoughts and thoughts on the other units if you have any.
But yeah, I mean, that is exactly what I was going to say. Because if it's a unit that they want you to run in slot 1 who already has some reasonable defensive capability, then building up more defense by being hit is obviously not the end of the world. But yeah, this unit in particular, I mean, technically he's a free-to-play unit, so... hasn't got the highest stats in the world, and yeah, is a unit that you're most likely going to be floating. So there will be some turns where he barely will take any hits, if any at all. So then when you get to the later part, because even weaker units that have to be hit a couple of times, in some of the longer events, you can kind of get away with them getting hit a little bit at the beginning, but not when it's a unit that you're constantly going to be wanting to float off in slot 3. And then
not
like
red zone.
Said, you're gonna find yourself very quickly getting to a stage where you're taking way too much damage from those first couple of hits. So we did mention briefly, I think Minato said, like, obviously if they're bringing some big buffs and the, you know, basically running every form of Goku Black and Zamasu kind of team build comes back, then I mean he's a reasonable free to play option as a support unit, but he's definitely going to struggle in the more difficult content. I saw some people say when his details came out that he was straight up trash, and I don't necessarily think he's that bad, but yeah, you're not using him in the red zone, I don't think, even with a 200% leader. So it's a little bit unfortunate. His art's sick though.
I think it's stupid that they didn't buff like the defense support. Like I'm glad they gave him the key, but his actual buff in the support is the same as it was pre-awakening.
Wow. They should have made that bigger, 20 right? And 10. Yeah.
Yeah. They should have made it 30-30. Why not? Or 20-20 at the very least, right? 25-20 or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. If you don't have to do that, right? 20 and 10, really?
it gives you a reason to take the risk to run him if he's a little bit of a weaker unit, but he's given like 60% support to specific units. Then you could kind of maybe take the gamble. Whereas, now 40% attack, 20% defense. I mean, we have multiple support units that do 40% for both for certain teams. So it's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think if you're going to be a free-to-play unit like that doesn't have a lot of defense, you almost have to have like dodge chance or damage reduction. Otherwise, you're just not going to be viable in hard content. And maybe Dokkan's making a statement. Maybe they don't want free-to-play units to be viable for Red Zone. I think we've talked about this before, and they just want you to summon, and you've got to use summonable units in there.
Rip Fanta,
I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, Jay Fanta, man. Those would be some tough runs.
Don't slander my goat, Jay Fanta, man. Come on. Let him cook. Let him cook, man. Come on.
He's done some of the stages. I'm still waiting for his Broly video, though. But...
Yeah, we got it. We need the Jay Fanta Broly video. Hey, I'm telling you, that Tech World Tournament SSR Gohan is going to be the goat in there for him.
Oh, yeah.
I used him myself for the
he is actually
He's
good.
crazy.
That's why it's a shame the last couple of World Tournament units haven't been very good, because he was actually really good. Because it takes so long for them to awaken. They need to be good as soon as they come out. And that's just one of the other things that makes that Trunks so disappointing.
Yeah. And I mean, High School Gohan, he's another good World Tournament card. Pretty defensive. Don't know if he stands up in Red Zone. Never seen him in there, but...
I don't think he does any more, because I know in some of the ESBR stages he was starting to take a bit of damage. But for a free-to-play support unit that has its own like defensive abilities, like damage reduction, like, he's still pretty decent.
Yeah.
If he had all the family, maybe.
Of course,
maybe.
Mention that.
But since he doesn't have that defense link, unfortunately. So, like, dude, if you slapped on All in the Family, Cole Jones with him, like, he would be good in Red Zone, I feel like, next to Tech Gohan, right? That's just my opinion, right? But
I was gonna say Minato, so basically if he were Tech Ultimate Gohan, he'd be better. That's what you're saying, right?
So true. That's true. 100%, right? That because 58% damage reduction, physical future Gohan, right? He has way more defense than him. The World Tournament one, obviously, right? But physical future Gohan does really well, even without a Trunks or Red Zone. He does exceptionally well. I really like that physical future Gohan.
Yep.
So what you're saying is if Dokkan Fest Raditz were Tech Ultimate Gohan, he'd be better, right? That's what you're also saying?
That is true.
Give them all in the family, give them guard, just make them Tech Ultimate. They should just make every unit Tech Ultimate Gohan. Why not, right? Let's go crazy.
I guess that's true, right? Why not? I guess people would get bored, but I wouldn't.
All right. Well, speaking of Tech Ultimate Gohan, we're going to talk about King Cold's EZA, which has nothing to do with Tech Ultimate Gohan. So King Cold getting an EZA. We talked about this earlier in the show, but there have been some wicked Bloodline buffs. We got the Angel Golden Frieza. We got the Frieza Sorbet, who he's all wonky because Sorbet's on the card.
Yeah.
And we already brought up AGL Metal Cooler already a couple of times. So Ningen, let's start with you this time. Is Dokkan planning anything for Wicked Bloodline, or are these just kind of like filler EZAs? What do you think's going on?
I mean, it's hard to say, because obviously, I guess as soon as the Resurrection of F celebration came out, with the Dokkan Fest being the way it was, it seemed almost certain that the Part 2 LR was going to be some kind of Golden Frieza, because there's not much to draw from. Obviously, if the Dokkan Fest had just been Goku, then maybe you could have said the Part 2 LR was going to be Vegeta, but as soon as they were both in the card, it's pretty clear that it was going to be Golden Frieza. And so maybe they planned it just so there's some extra buffs to go around him on the Wicked Bloodline team. Like Minato said, I mean, we could see a potential Metal Cooler EZA. So I'm not too sure what they have in mind, but I'm definitely liking these last two EZAs, because the Mecha Frieza is pretty good as well. And then King Cold looks pretty decent. I mean, the thing about him, I mentioned this when his EZA was announced before we saw his kit, but back in the day, like, he couldn't take hits, obviously, but with his passive, lowering attack and then lowering attack on super, I think I legitimately ran him on the no items run for extreme physical, extreme super battle road. So even though he was so old, like, he still had a use here and there, which I thought was pretty cool. So I was very much looking forward to seeing what his kit was going to look like. And obviously you can tell that he's kind of built around, like, running him with that Mecha Frieza. Obviously you can run him with any other Frieza, but the fact that they awaken back to back, they work very nicely together. So, yeah, I like what I see. the Super Strike revamps have been going pretty well so far. And yeah, definitely good to see Wicked Bloodline getting some more buffs. Just bring me that LR final form cooler sooner rather than later. But, yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Final form cooler and Kid Buu LR when, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sunblade, what are your thoughts on the King Cold EZA and what you think they're doing with Wicked Bloodline and Dokkan?
Okay, so this is pretty much the only standalone King Cold, right? And yeah, I like that they gave him a buff. And yeah, Ningen just talked about Extreme Sewer Battle Road, and I think he's designed for that stage. And I still remember the days where even I took him in that stage in order to beat Extreme Physical, Extreme Sewer Battle Road. So yeah, that unit has a special place in my heart. And as Ningen said, he's meant to be run alongside the Mecha Frieza. But what I don't like, and that totally makes sense, but King Cold isn't part of Resurrected Warriors, and yeah, I think Mecha Frieza is super effective against all types when all of the allies in the rotation are in that category, so that is completely thrown out the window. So that annoys me a little bit if that was their intention, but I think King Cold may be on the rise again once the LR, Mecha Frieza and King Cold get their EZA. I think it's just a matter of time. But please lower the price of those medals, man, and slow down the pacing, because it's getting tough for me. I still haven't EZA to the Metal Cooler Core.
Damn.
Yeah.
You have it?
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
Unable to. Not enough medals.
I was able to EZA them. I think the reason why is because did you play the original Battlefield, Sunblade?
Not the
I
original
wanna
one. No.
Okay, not the. I think that's why. The reason why I'm able to like awaken these guys and I still have medals left over. I even have the Goku and Vegeta, the Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. I have them rainbowed. And that's because I had the extra currency from the original Battlefield.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, because the currency carried over. I was always wondering about that because I know Truth couldn't awaken them, and I know Truth couldn't play the original. I believe. So yeah, that's why.
I'm pretty much a fresh JP player. I'm playing JP for it's slightly over 2 years now. So yep, there's that
newbie. Look at this guy.
Yeah, pretty much
crazy.
The thing is, it is crazy how expensive they are, because I've obviously been playing Global since Battlefield became a thing, and I haven't bought the Majin Vegeta or the Goku. The 18 and the Krillin, and doing the physical Ginyu Force one that we just got cost me like half the currency. So then when the Metal Cooler one comes out, I'll be able to do that one, but then that's almost all of them gone. So it's crazy how expensive they are.
Well, and the Shadow Dragons are expensive, and we don't have that rainbowed yet, so that's going to be more if you want the Shadow Dragons.
Yeah, I wanted to rainbow them first. That's why I prioritized them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep in mind as well, we do have the, what's it called? Oh, I was going to say, so there's Goku and Vegeta, just for the future purposes, they should be next in line to EZA. You know, we have physical Super Vegeta's EZA coming up. So there's stuff lining up for a Buu Saga celebration with that. So yeah, I just want to point that out, right? You know, Buu Saga, we can get another celebration for that soon with those units.
Yeah, one final thing I gotta say, I gotta pump this out. I want to appreciate Akatsuki for making that grind for the Super Strike units so easy. I think you can finish those units in 30 minutes or something, even less maybe. So that's really good. I love that.
And you get like 20 stones for it. Like,
right.
Just do it, right? It's so easy. It's so good.
Yeah, like for Mighty Mask, so you know, some of the Super Strikes I already had like pre-grinded, but Mighty Mask I just never ever bothered. So I grinded him literally from 0 to EZA, and it didn't take long at all. It was really smooth. And how they work the mission so that you get a bunch of, like, you only have to run the EZA part of it like 3 times, I think. Yep. So that's really, really nice. Minato, do you want to give your thoughts on the King Cold?
I mean, he's good. For a free-to-play unit, right? I think that he's good. He's nothing like, you know, like, oh my gosh, King Cold is must run or anything, but I think King Cold is a nice option, and I think they designed it pretty nicely for what he wants to be used to, which is Super Battle Road. With the attack lowering, the potential to steal all enemies is interesting. He's like unironically better than the Angel Golden Frieza. I think, right? He's just like him, but designed good, is what I would say.
Yeah, the flaw I have with all the Super Strikes is they have those Super Strike exclusive links. I think it's Super Strike and Bombardment, right? Are the 2 links.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, sure, Frieza and King Cold together, that's great. But like you said, there's de-synergy there because then you can't activate all of Mecha Frieza stuff. But then you're going to have these characters that just, if they don't link well with another Super Strike unit, how are you ever activating those links? And they're pretty powerful links. So to me, that's the big flaw, is that you almost have to consider them like a 4 or 5 link unit on most teams. And if you can get those 4 or 5 active, that's probably fine. But yeah, that's the one flaw I have. I kind of hope they actually would make at some point, like when they finish EZAing all of them, I kind of hope they just make new Super Strikes and then potentially build out a full Super Strike team, maybe a Super Strike LR. There's a lot of things they can do with it. Bring back the Majunior and what was it? Majunior and Kabito, right? Those are the ones that like went away. So I hope they bring those back as well. So some potential there for some fun stuff. But yeah, for free-to-play units, I think they're fine. I think they maybe balance their kits too, knowing that you're not always going to have those active anyways. So I think that's part of it as well. Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to add on before we jump into global, the hype that is global?
Just very quickly, I wanted to say in regards to that, imagine if they were building up to like for it to come full circle and you have to use a team of fully EZA Super Strike units in order to get some kind of new like free-to-play LR. That'd be pretty cool. Go bring back the days of the Tech LR Goku event.
I tell all players that you should grind every free-to-play unit no matter what, even if they're terrible. You know, we're coming into the anniversary here, and there's some pretty bad free-to-play units to grind up, but you all should grind them up because you never know when they're going to be required for something. And the last thing you want to do is, 1, have to go back and regrind them, or 2, worst case scenario, they haven't come back yet and you can't get them with keys. You just don't want to put yourself in that situation. So grind them up. You don't have to rainbow them, but get them awakened, get all their slots open. That's what I recommend all players do. And most players are complaining about lack of content anyways. Well, it's content to do, even though they're bad units. It's something you can do. You get some stones, you get some rewards, get some units in your box. Definitely got to do it, right?
Yep.
And it increases your power level, so do it.
Yep, power level's a thing, right? gotta increase it. Yeah, we'll shout that out. We did I think the video's done really well, but we did our first 5-9 did our first power level comparison video. And I think people are really liking it. So I've been more motivated. My power level, I won't say how much, but it's increased quite a bit since that first video. So I'm coming for some of those people at the top. So we'll see what happens. Coming for you, Ningen. I think you're next on my list.
Oh, mine's gone up quite a bit as well. Buddy,
I know.
Worry.
The thing is, Ningen, I think you were right above me, but there's quite a jump between us. Like I was basically at the top of the cutoff where they didn't talk about me in the video at all. But I'm in the higher part of the middle. I just didn't want to be poor Tystra there, man. They were reaming him hard in that video. that poor guy. And then it's funny because now on Twitter he's posting all of his level 10 links like constantly. So
the fire has been awakened in him now.
The fire's awakened.
I believe I was right under Ningen, right? I wasn't too far away from Ningen, so I'm league leveling, but I think Ningen, didn't you hit like 300 recently? If I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 305 or something at the moment. So
yeah, I'm only like at like 257 or something, right? So I'm still
closing in on 100, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did I've got every single Heroes unit, including the free-to-play ones, at full level 10 links now. So that was a big project I was in the process of doing.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I started doing some of my heroes in preparation for next year because I know there's going to be some hype EZAs. I don't want to get too off track, but yes, we're all grinding that power level. It's definitely been a fun motivator.
Yeah.
All right, so the hypeness that is global. I mean, we've got so much content right now, we don't know what to do with it all. But we do have STR Bardock's EZA coming up. So he hasn't actually dropped yet, so I don't have a lot of opinions because I haven't used him yet. But I remember watching videos on JP, and he was actually like super good. Ningen, as a global player, are you excited for this Bardock? Do you have any thoughts on the STR Bardock?
I mean, it's difficult because he is good. Obviously, I couldn't care less because I'm never going to use him outside of doing like a showcase video. And then now that we have the team fully EZA'd, I want to take them into like Pure Saiyan's Extreme Super Battle Road and see how they do. But yeah, they are designed to be run together. Low Class Warriors really needs a lot of buffs if it's ever going to be a team that people would seriously run. So you're not going to use him outside of a few things here and there, maybe. But for, the units out of all of them, the way he's designed, the way he works with the team, he definitely looks like he's going to be very good. I was actually genuinely surprised of how good Shugesh was when I used him. after he got his. And this guy, I mean, the fact that he gets 20% attack and defense per key sphere, like as a nuking style unit, 20% per orb is pretty good. Especially when, like I said, the team is designed to be run together. So not only does he get crit chance from rainbow orbs, but I think it's Farsha, if you have a Bardock on the turn, creates rainbow orbs. So that's going to make it easier for him to not only get the rainbow ones to get the crit chance, but also obviously string together the rest of the field. So then he gets a ton of orbs and does like a big attack. So for the team that he's for and the scenario where you'd use him, he's pretty good, but I just think obviously for most players, if you're paid to play and you've been playing for a while, probably not going to use him that much, but he's not bad.
Yeah, I think what they want you to do is, pair him up with Fasha, put Fasha in slot 1, get her to dodge out, create the orbs. I'm sure Bardock looks really good on that turn, right? And then you have like the team Bardock floating in slot 3. I'm sure that turn he's looking pretty nasty, right?
Yeah, that's like as long as Fasha dodges, that's like 90% support.
Yeah, her support is crazy. Minato as a JP player, do you want to add anything on this Bardock? Anything you want to tell us about him if you've used him? Or I'm sure he's just sitting in your box. You probably don't use him that much.
That is true. He's good. But until we get like new Dokkan Fest Bardock with like Bardock Squad, like the Ginyu Force, he will sit there. But he is good.
Yeah.
Take him into the red zone and report back.
Oh,
bring him on like a pure. You can run him on a 180 Goku family team. Go for it.
You could, but guess what? There's no other Team Bardock members. I know. He's gonna die. What? I'll take him against Broly. We'll see how he does against AGL Broly. What about that?
Sure. Exactly. Sunblade, do you want to add anything on this, or are you good?
Well, I guess not. Like, the only reason I finished him quickly was that, and I found Minato's tweet very funny about him. You needed him for the Ginyu EZA, so I suspected that and did him right away. And Minato tweeted a couple of days ago, "Oh yeah, I forgot to grind him, so I have to go back now," or something. And yeah, I think he will be relevant again once we get Team Bardock Extreme Super Road Stage. Yeah, but we'll see. Until it's that time, he will rot in my box, I guess.
The thing is, it's just like the Ginyu Force, isn't it? Like, the EZAs are solid and usable within that team that they exist. And now that we've had the event where we've gotten a massive buff to the Ginyu Force, some of those free-to-play units are actually usable on that team. So if the same thing happens and they get a proper leader and some of those like Jason Berta type support units, unironically, you could probably run this STR Bardock on that team. So it will be interesting to see what they do.
For sure. Next up on Global, we've got the Super Saiyan 2 Super Battle Road. We'll just talk about maybe if our plans for beating it. I don't think it's going to be that hard, and I'll go to Global first, and then we'll go to JP players to see if you have any memories of your experience with it. But I think my plan is I think I can ride an Int Majin Vegeta team and get a full Super Saiyan 2 squad, and I think I can run that STR Trunks from Heroes and get the Majin Vegeta's passive. So I think that's going to be my plan. And then I was looking, I think U6 has some possibilities as well. Ningen, what's your plan for the Super Saiyan 2, or if you thought about it yet?
Oh, of course I have. Obviously, I'm going
to know the SBR King, right? The SBR King. All right, what's your plan?
When the new stages come out now, I don't even bother doing normal videos. So yeah, when the stage comes out, I'll do the no items run and get it put up. But yeah, like you said, the best way to do it is if you did summon for and pulled Majin Vegeta, then obviously because he has Majin Buu Saga as his 170 lead, which covers most of the Super Saiyan 2s in the game. Not all of them, obviously. But it means you can run that team perfectly fine, and all the Vegetas on the team will be getting the 200% leader skill. Like you said, you can run that STR crossover Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So he fulfills the Majin Vegeta passive. And then you've got units, you've got like, as much as he's not a crazy top tier LR EZA, AGL Majin Vegeta, for people who are going to be using items, just, keep him protected, hit that 18 key. He's going to do a ton of damage, potentially stun a bunch of people. And then obviously, of course, Super Saiyan 2 has the physical Goku that transforms into Super Saiyan 3. Probably the reason why they made the final boss at the end STR. But considering he can attack multiple times and potentially stun, he's probably not going to have much trouble with that either. So those are the two big units. If you have Int Majin Vegeta and physical Goku, you're probably not going to have a huge amount of trouble overall. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, you basically just listed my whole team there, so I think we're thinking alike on this one. Which is kind of a compliment to me that the SBR King is building the same team as me, so like it, I like it. Yeah, Minato or Sunblade, do you have any thoughts on this? Do you remember doing it? It was probably a while for you guys, wasn't it?
I mean, I just ran the team you guys talked about.
No,
yeah, it wasn't that long.
No.
Okay.
I ran the team you guys talked about, right?
Okay.
Mahjong Vegeta's team, right?
Yep.
Pretty obvious, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
If you've got
Sunblade, same for you?
Yes, same for me, yes.
Okay. Ningen, did you want to add on there? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying, if you've got him, like, he's just the best leader to use for it, so.
I mean, if you can get damage reduction, why not do it, right? And I like the idea of trying, like, I'm not going to go for no item runs, but I might be a little cheeky and actually bring, like, orb changing and just try to nuke with that AGL Vegeta. I think that could be fun. And then he can, like, AoE stun. So, like, yeah, that could be crazy.
I would note the stage does actually hit pretty hard because of the damage reduction Mahjong Vegeta has. So just be wary of that. The stage, like, compared to these other Super Battle stages that came out, right, they hit really hard. Yeah. It's just their HP is kind of low.
Some of the newer stages have been surprising because the like Terrifying Conquerors one just came out on Global, and that's a normal Super Battle Road stage, but the units hit pretty much as hard as the extreme Super Battle Road Wicked Bloodline one that we just got as well. So these newer ones some of them are actually hitting a lot harder, even though they're normal Super Battle Road. So
funny enough for that one, I couldn't tell because Ginyu just destroyed it. Ginyu and AGL Turles like destroyed that stage. It was disgusting. AGL Turles.
Yeah, because it dropped on Global before we got Ginyu. So the difference was definitely noticeable once you pulled Ginyu.
Huge difference. Oh my goodness, you guys had to use full power Frieza.
Yeah.
I gotta use AGL Turles with STR Turles, the Ginyu squad. Whew, it was disgusting, man. Crazy. I got a no item run first try, I feel like, right? I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm still bummed I'm gonna have to wait potentially till like August for that AGL Turles because I want that man now. Like he's crazy. Big fan of that card. All right, does anybody just have anything else they want to add before we move on to questions?
What about the Vegeta EZAs?
Oh yeah, we didn't bring those up, did we? Right. So I okay. So yeah, somebody dropped the ball in the outline here, but good call, Sunblade. Good catch. Let's talk about those quick. So we've got 3 Vegetas that are going to EZA. So it's the physical one, the AGL, and the STR one. Yep. What I'm going to say on them is I feel like, and this is just me making a gut prediction, I think the STR one's going to be the best. And my thought on that is he is the counterpart to the AGL Goku that already got his EZA, who is actually a really like decently hard-hitting support unit for Realm of Gods. I think they could make the STR one a counterpart that would either also support Realm of Gods in a different way or support a different category. But like I believe that Goku gives crit chance. What if this Vegeta gives like dodge chance the whole rotation and they up his stats because he's a newer EZA? I think that STR one could be quite disgusting. Sunblade, since you brought it up, let's get your thoughts on the Vegetas. Good call there.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I hope that they will even improve, like quote unquote, improve the AGL Goku with the STR Vegeta. That would be pretty great because I love that AGL Goku. I think he's still viable.
Yep.
What I'm annoyed about, and I saw Minato tweet about this as well, is the physical Vegeta because he changes the rainbow key spheres and that doesn't help the new Dokkan Fest at all. We'll just have to wait and see what Akatsuki will do there. Maybe they improve his defense, maybe he will guard or something, I don't know. Then he might be great. But I'm excited to see what they will do because I have those 3 units actually prepared for once. I usually never do that, but they are all done at 100% and link level. So yeah, I'm hyped about them.
Nice. I'm just gonna jump in. I apologize for that, but I want to say that I agree with Sunblade with the blue Vegeta. The one he said he saw my tweet about it, but yeah, it's really annoying. I would say that we have a lot of good defensive units, like slot 1 defensive units type on the Gods team, right? Tech God Goku, the Blues, the LR, your 7s could work. Even the Golden Friezas are on the team. You can throw them in slot 1. There's a good amount of slot 1 units in that team. So I think more than anything, what we need is a support unit because Realm of God supports right now kind of just suck, right? Like our Blue Goku is like solid for sure, but he's nothing special. Like there's God Topo, West Kai, right? All those units are old at this point. We need a new support. So one of those Vegetas being a support unit, I would really like to see, especially because they're all units I want to super attack first. So them being a floating support unit
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, right? Because they just need a super attack first anyway. So I think that'd be cool. Like, you know, if the AGL Blue Vegeta, maybe he gives like 3Q 40% to like Realm of Gods or Pure Saiyans or something crazy, right? And then he has like 160%, 50% on super attack, right? Just all of his buffs and super attack effects. I think I'd be fine with that. Just a support unit would be what I would really like to see.
For sure. Ningen, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The one thing I will say that I was thinking is obviously because they're awakening all three of them at the same time, and aside from the fact the physical one changes orbs, at the moment they don't really have a lot that differentiates between them because they don't really do a lot. So if they're awakening all three of them at the same time, it'd be nice if they give them very clear and specific roles. Like if they made obviously we don't want either of them to be bad, but if they made the STR one more offensive based, but still with enough defense to make do, and then you make like the AGL one a lot more defensive based, so he's like a Golden Frieza type unit, and then you have the physical one be a support unit or something, because then it gives you a specific reason to run one or the other in different team builds, because I think it would be weird if they just make them all incredibly similar, but be interesting to see what they do go ahead and do.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. The key, I think, for them, they do have to be very unique and different because they all share the same name. So there's no way you're going to run all three on the team. So you definitely have to give them a defined role. And I think my prediction is the STR one will be the support unit for sure. I think they need to have a support unit. I would bank on that one being the support unit. And then the physical one could have a role already as an orb changer, but once again, maybe make him a real offensive nuker or make them. And I like the idea of the AGL one being defensive. I think that give them some damage reduction, some high defense, something like that. Or they could make, say, the STR one and the AGL one both supports, but they support differently. That could be something as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited because Resurrection F needed them, and they definitely needed it to support whatever they do. One of them needs to be like a really good best friend for the Dokkan Fest and really support that unit. So really hope that they do that.
It won't be the physical one.
Yeah, no, it won't be the physical one for sure. All right, Sunblade, did we miss anything else?
No. Otherwise,
we're good.
We are fine. And
also, to clarify, these are coming to JP, right? We're talking about the global stuff, but this is JP. Just to clarify.
Yes. This is JP. Yes, we did it out of order because we missed it. Sunblade caught it for us. Thank you, Sunblade. See, Sunblade coming back, already making a difference on the podcast. Look at that.
but yeah, one thing I want to say, Minato, you gave good advice here because you can bring the AGL Golden Frieza, for example, in slot 1 and use them with the new Dokkan Fest Goku and Vegeta. They share Super God Combat and Resurrection F, which I think is a key link.
So
and
true.
In slot 3, you can have a Super Saiyan unit. So yeah, Vegeta, physical Vegeta as a support for slot 3. That's great since you can use the AGL Golden Frieza slot 1. So yeah, I didn't think of that. Pretty good advice, players.
And again, Tech God Goku works as well. Tech Golden Frieza, right? You know, all those are slot 1 units for the team. So I don't feel like we don't really need more slot 1 units for that team specifically. A lot of people are always like, "Oh, I want my slot 1 units now," and it's like, well, not every unit has to be designed to be a slot 1 unit, right? It's my opinion, but yeah, I would agree that floating supports would be really good for them.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good point. I think Truth brought it up in his video as well. But when thinking about the new Golden Frieza and other Golden Friezas, they've got that Super God Combat and the Resurrection F link. And so a lot of people are instantly going to think, oh, you got to link them up with Wicked Bloodline. But they actually are going to link okay with the Gokus and Vegetas. So don't be afraid to run them as rotations. Golden Frieza's best team probably will be the Resurrection F, the new Dokkan Fest leader. So I think he might work with some Goku and Vegetas there. And I think these Vegetas could also help support the new LR as well. So a lot of things to think about there. Okay, anything else that we want to add before we jump into questions?
I'm good.
No.
All right, so we have questions coming back. We've only got one this week, but it's a doozy. It's for you, Sunblade. The question comes from JC Gamer. Sunblade, the question everyone wants to know is, what did you have for breakfast?
Today or in general?
Technically it just says it says what do you have for breakfast? So I think it's asking in general.
Oh, okay. So in general, I like cereal. I like breakfast that works well with my workout. So I love eating eggs in the morning. That's one thing, but I can eat sandwiches in the morning as well. But if I have to pick one, eggs all day.
Eggs.
Yep.
Now, Sunblade, is there a certain breakfast you like before doing a speed run? Is there anything that helps you with speed running in the morning?
I would say eggs again.
Eggs,
since
yeah.
I love eggs so much, that's one thing about me. But I don't want to eat or drink too much because if I have to go somewhere during a speedrun, that doesn't work very well. In the past, there was a part during a speedrun where I had a 3-minute break or something, but now that is gone, so I cannot use the restroom during a speedrun, so I have to watch out.
Gotcha.
Important.
All right. Well, I'm going to end the podcast on a terrible pun here. Sunblade, before speedrunning, he likes his eggs runny because he's got to go fast. All right, guys.
Stop.
That's going to do it
Please,
for our
no.
show today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I told you it was going to be a bad pun.
Fire it.
But that's going to do it for our show today. We're going to end with fire. Sunblade's got the runny eggs because he's got to go fast. This has been episode 87 of the Dokkan Battle Podcast. I would like to thank our amazing guests today, Minato, the Masked Ningen, and Sunblade. Great to have you back. Hope to see you back for more. It's been a pleasure having you. Thanks to Vilify for helping us behind the scenes. As always, props to Stray for the new layout. The management with our Dokkan has been going great. Hoping you guys like it as well. My name is Joe Wags. It has been a pleasure hosting for you all today. Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you all on the next one.